Hi friends, we are undergoing a late winter thaw, which for me is quite a welcome thing. I'm looking forward to not having to deal with quite so much ice in my morning walks with our dog Strider, and the thaw is perfectly timed for the start of Lent. Lent, some of us might know, is an Old English word that means spring. And in the Northern Hemisphere, Lent begins roughly at the same time that spring is taking hold. And that's fitting because Lent is a time for renewal, for deepening, for growth. And we're going to be observing Lent in Christ Church around the theme of the good and beautiful community. In worship and in small groups that will be preceded on Wednesday nights by a soup supper, we're going to think about how the community that Jesus gathers to himself are people who grow to become more like him, to be with him and to become like him and to do as he did. And so we'll reflect on what is the character of a Christ-centered community, and how is it that in the way we live our lives, we can become a community of people who express the life of Jesus just in daily life. Spiritual practices have long been a way that the church has opened to Jesus, his presence, and the way he grows us to become more like him and to do as he did. In fact, in the ancient rule of Saint Benedict, the monks are given specific instruction during Lent to take from the library. So here's my library. I'm standing in front of the section of books written by Eugene Peterson and Rowan Williams, two folks that have really influenced me over the years. And they would take a book, and for the season of Lent, they would read the book in its entirety and really listen for how in that book God is meeting them and God is nourishing them in their minds, but also in their hearts for ways to live a more Christ-alive life. So in Christ Church, we have a devotional available, but also in your own life, you might choose to do your own kind of Lenten practice. A lot of people will fast from something or abstain from something. So maybe it's social media, maybe it's a day of fasting, abstaining from food, maybe it's not eating meat. You can decide what it's going to be, but fasting reminds us that we do not live by what we take in, we live by the life of God. And then also, in addition to fasting, the counsel of the church has long been to add something. So to become more disciplined in prayer, to practice perhaps a period of Christian meditation. Maybe you'd like to join our Christian meditation group on the Saturdays of Lent. We meet at 7 a.m. Just ask me for the Zoom link. Perhaps it's adding a walk during which you really just look outside and pay attention. Ask the Spirit to guide you. What are you asking me to add to my life as a way of practicing presence with God, presence with others, and being open to the nourishment of the Spirit by this practice? So Lent begins on Ash Wednesday, May 5th. We will meet in worship, meet at the church for worship, and then the following Sunday, we will move into reflection and practice of being a good and beautiful community centered on Jesus. I look forward to sharing Lent with you, church. Let's continue to live loving God, sharing relationships, serving others from the heart of Christ.